Hey guys, welcome back. It's the KANU Chronicles, and I'm your host Nate, aka Crash, and you're listening to another Solocast Drivecast, episode 239. That's 239. So, hope you guys are doing good. Getting into your new week. Well, maybe not so new anymore, depending on where you're at and all that. Let me get it out of the way real quick. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at KANU Chronicles. On Instagram, I'm at GRTN8. Great name. GRTN and the number 8. So you could follow me at either of those. But I'm just going to get right into it. Having a hell of a had a great weekend, had a nice week, I should say. Nothing really nuts or anything. But just heading out, it's Monday night. I'm attempting to record this again. Hopefully it actually records. Because the last I just did, I recorded earlier today. And gone. Disappeared. Nothing. So that's how this shit goes sometimes with this digital recording format. No matter, I've used a couple devices and I've had issues. So not too pleased. I still have another new device I'm supposed to be using at this point, and maybe that'll be more consistent, but I digress. Hopefully you'll be hearing this, or I'll be sitting here cussing at the end going, fuck, that's nice, this fucking thing didn't record. But anyways, never mind that. Let's be, try to be positive here a little bit, but kind of hard when you have shit like that happen, fucking up your whole goddamn, bullshit. But so that's what's going on. Thank you again to anybody listening. You guys that have listened for years or recent, whatever, coming back, you're checking it out. I appreciate it. If you're brand new, hey, thank you. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Hope you enjoy as I talk about my week, as I talk about, what's going on in sports, maybe some news, shit like that. So let's get fired up. Let's get it in. Not much to give you on my week in a way. I mean, it's been good, had a good chill, busy / productive, I would say productive week in many ways. Very good. I was able to, been making a bit of moves here and there. Sorry, you're hearing somebody with their badass car. I don't know, maybe it picked it up. But either way, if you don't listen, I do this while I'm driving, usually to or from work. At this point, it is basically from work, but I'm not just leaving work. I was hanging out for a second, chilling. So, take it for what you will. But just heading back to the casa so I can go and fall asleep pretty soon. Now, I'll try to get this up in time. I feel good right now, really. Try to get this up, hopefully. Well, maybe not tonight, actually. I might not get this up. This thing is not going to be that long. So, anyways, that's what's going on. That's how it goes. That's how this shit rolls. But good week going on. Had a pretty good weekend. Kind of, always fast, these weekends. Just that last, that one where I had that 3 days, that was pretty nice. But, these regular weekends, they, they're good, but they're whatever. It's just get a little rest and then right back to it. But I don't want to complain. I really don't. I feel, I feel wrong complaining because I'm really not. I'm not that ungrateful. I do appreciate it. definitely appreciate it, because if you've heard me, I was putting in some weekends for a while. A lot of stuff. A lot of work. So lately, not so much. It's been nice. I've been able to enjoy mine, you know? At least, whether I'm doing much of anything or not, at least I've been able to fucking, you know, catch up on some sleep or whatever, you know? But yeah, it's been good. So, usually getting into sports here, so we'll jump into some sports. Lakers, well, we're talking about some NBA. We're going to talk sports, so obviously you know, we're all done with NFL stuff, but yeah, the NBA, been watching a little bit, or keeping up with it, you know, and watching a little bit, but not a whole lot. But Lakers looking very, pretty solid and dominant. Looks like they'll probably get the West. But the Clippers, of course, are right there in the midst. So that's how we're going here. But yeah, I watched a little bit of that Pelicans-Lakers last night. No Anthony Davis. And they look great, man. They still did a great job. Pelicans, though, too, man. Good for them. They're coming along. You know, it's not going to be, per se, their year, of course. It doesn't, you know, it would be a total shock. You know, that's the problem. I will say with the NBA, unfortunately, if there's something that really doesn't happen, you don't really get these, you know, you don't really get a team that maybe they are really good or whatever. But they're not expected to win, you know, to win it all. You don't really get one of those teams to really go all the way and win it. It doesn't happen. You know, that's really, I mean, in a lot of sports it's pretty rare, but the NBA, it, like, doesn't happen at all. I mean, I don't know. It's just funny. It's just funny how that goes. Other sports seem to get their team every now and then, you know. I'd say that, you know, for instance, like, well, the Steelers, for instance, years back when they were a 6th seed in the playoffs going up, and they beat, you know, they ended up going and then beating Seattle and sent Jerome Bettis off. That was a pretty, you know, I mean, of course we were really good, but it was kind of, you know, that was unexpected. Yeah, there's definitely those instances in different sports. Football, hell, the Patriots, the first time around winning, that was definitely not expected at the time. Yeah, they were not expected to win it all at all. So, you know, there's been quite a few of those instances in football. Baseball's had it a little bit. You got the, you know, just a few years ago, and we'll easily forget about it, but Kansas City Royals, they went to 2 in a row and won the one. I think they went to 2 in a row. Yeah, I'm almost 100%. Yeah, they went 2, and then they won one of them. And that was it, you know. But, hey, they did it, you know, after so many years, out of nowhere, you know, seemingly. Boom, you know, did the damn thing. So, but, yeah, NBA, nah, not really. Not like, it like never happens. I'd say the last team that was kind of like I'm trying to think, like an unexpected winner. I guess LeBron with the Cavaliers is kind of one of those ones, but that's kind of bullshit because they were right up there, you know, quite a few times. It's just that it, you know, it's Cleveland and it's the Cavaliers, you know, it's just that whole thing just seemed like that never was going to happen, and it fucking did. So, kind of, I'll give that. I would say that's the closest in recent memory that I can think of that would, you know, fit the mold, but it doesn't really in a way, but I don't think it's not far off, you know, in my opinion, in a way, especially the way that particular one, because no, that was the year before. I was going to say with The year before would have been really crazy if they would have won, and they could have. It was really close in a way, but the year before they had no business getting as far as they did, the Cavaliers. Everybody actually played their heart out and did the damn thing. Really had to give it to that team. They didn't have anybody much but LeBron, and they made it real. They made it deep. I think they were in the fucking finals. And but the next year with Irvin, Kyrie, that worked out. But yeah, it's. I'm sure there's some other instance. I'm not saying there hasn't been any instances, but mostly it's like, it's pretty much that's the way it goes, So yeah, with the Pelicans, like I said, they have a great team. They're coming up, obviously, but it'd be pretty ridiculous for them to go ahead and then win a whole title. Them, let alone a lot of other teams that are going to be in the mix. But in a way, it's going to be kind of wild if the Lakers do, even though it'll probably be like, oh, of course, but that's not what, if you look at it, that's not what we were expecting right away, for them to necessarily be this strong this year. We thought they would do very well, but they're exceeding, and that's awesome, It's crazy for the fans. As a matter of fact, today I was just thinking about it, like, rest in peace to Kobe, but I was just like, man, if Kobe was in his playing years, which wasn't that long ago, but if he was still in his more, in a healthy playing, at an age and time when he was really, capable, and to have that team that's going on right now, let alone LeBron or not, you could take LeBron in or out, or one of the other guys or whoever, but with Kobe, oh my God, he would have, that would have been sick. That would have been sick. But either way, it's sick right now. It is. It's a good team. I can't say that they're not. That's a great squad. And then you can't lie. I mean, it's like you could sit there and not like them or hate them, but come on, man. It's a nice squad right there, no doubt. And not that and you know what? Not really unlikable, I mean, outside of LeBron seems to be the one that gets, you get haters on, but I don't think he's that unlikable, especially at this point too. It's a little different with all that's happened and all that. But, when it gets in the thick of things, and if you got money on somebody and you don't want him to win, then you're like, yeah, he's unlikable. So that's understandable. But no, for real, it's like, I think mostly though as a team, they're actually, right now in the league, I can't think of a team that's like, oh, fuck those guys, really. Maybe the Rockets, I guess, but not really. I mean, I can't, it's for what, just because they're Houston, I guess that's why. Because they're city related to the Astros, that's why I'll say fuck them. But I'm just joking around. I'm not going to put that on the Rockets. It's not their fault. But it's like, what team out there can you really hate on? Like, I think it's a player thing, but team-wise, like, not really any teams I could hate, man. It's pretty open. Golden State got to that point, though. They got where they were hateable, and I was happy for them in the beginning, and still happy, what they did. That's great, but it got to where it was like, yeah, we're tired of you. And, but that's, whatever. So that's what's going on. We're in the midst, got, 20 plus games, 25, 30, I don't know how many games left for the NBA. I know for the NHL it's like 20 games. So the NBA's got to be close to 30 or so games left. But, April, it's the second week of April is the end of the season, essentially. And then we move on. Then we finally get into fucking, the real shit. So we got a good month and some change to to cover here. And, Lakers definitely, they're up there, man. And that's, historically, and as a franchise, it's like, oh, it's not surprising at all, of course. But if you're a Laker fan and you've been, down right now seeing what's been going on for the last few years, oh, this is special. It's special, no doubt. It's definitely special. Oh, shit. Place has gotten this little spot open again here. Nah, just passing this spot. They, I think somebody crashed into the fucking windows there, like, months ago, last year at some point. And they had it boarded up. Now they're finally, got windows, so it looks like they're about to reopen what it, have it looking like it used to a little bit. So, that's my, neighborhood development. Yeah, there's been a few of those. That one, both Mexican spots. That got wrecked into. There's another place on my, I'm sorry, I'm smelling something because I feel like there's some with my car going on, man. I'm gonna definitely have it looked at. I don't know what the fuck is up, but that's good because there was no cars in front of me. I've been like, is this me or somebody else? And now I'm like, man, I think there's something really tripping here. Anyways, yeah, I'll find out. God damn it. But there's no like smoke or anything, but there's something going on. But sorry about that. Talking, I just jumping off tangents, talking sports, then I'm talking about people wrecking into places. But anyways, yeah, place got wrecked into here, and then I'm back where I used to live. Just some years, 10 years almost. But little stand, a little food stand there, a little Mexican spot there. It got wrecked into as well, and that one was more recent, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, they're building the new replacement right now. I think it should be getting done pretty soon, I would hope. But yeah, man, it's just crazy. Two places, both are like, when you look at where they're positioned, you're just like, okay, really? Like, damn, like, you were fucked up. Like, you had to be fucked up. And I hope in each instance, as far as I know, nobody got hurt. That were, at least the people that were there. I don't know about if there may have been, I don't know. I'm just speaking, hopefully not. And, for the people that wrecked into, I'm not saying I want them hurt, but, they probably were doing too much, unfortunately. And, that's what can happen. So, but yeah, man, places, people getting wrecked into, and businesses, but they're going, man. They keep going. So I love seeing that, especially the other spot. This one, not that they're, nothing against them. I know people love them and shit. I'm not so hot on their food. It's like, it's pretty good, but I like, I don't know, I think I like the other one a little better. And some other places, but yeah, whatever. But that's not to slight them. They're a small business keeping it going, and I'm not mad at that, and I want them to keep going. I'm very, cool with that shit, man. Support small businesses, please. Enough of these giant corporations that have just taken out places left and right. It's a tough out there for a pimp. It's a struggle. That's for real. But yeah. But anyways, man, getting back to sports. I don't know what's going to go on. We'll see what's going to happen. We're in the midst of it. I'll be, keeping it going. And yeah, I'm pulling up. I'm actually pretty close to my house right now. So yeah, I'm going to turn it off here. And we're going to keep it cracking. And I'm hoping that this damn thing, I'm hoping this got everything, right? So anyways, bear with me. I'll be back. You're not gonna even notice it. Hey, back on here. It is March 3rd, 2020, aka voting day here for the primaries here in California. Actually, I think we've had 10 days leading up to this. So I guess by the 23rd it started, but we've had all those days to vote. But I finally made sure to do it. I have a mail-in vote, but because I keep my status I just keep it nonpartisan. But unfortunately, wow, this thing's fucking tripping me out. Just my directions here. I'm sorry, guys. Fortunately or unfortunately, so sometimes with being in that, you get like automatically. I have the mail-in. I can mail it in, but you end up sometimes getting like you can only vote for like the local elections. It'll take you out of the presidential candidate ones. And I've noticed it. I noticed it with Democrats in particular. I don't know what the reason is. If it's from the I don't know how that got. Like what the deal is with that per se. And again, that's happened. I don't know if that's every time it would necessarily be that way, because it's varied. It's varied, but the thing is, you can, the good thing is here, you can do on the day of, I could go ahead and be whatever party I want. That's something that changed. I think that changed pretty recently here. I feel like a little while ago. It's been going on for a little while, but like it's a newer thing, which I love. I think that's fantastic. Plus, I like that they started the voting so many days out. I think that's really good. And I think that should always exist. So, yeah, anyways, I went and did my thing. If you're out here too, hopefully you did as well. Yeah, so, that's pretty much it. Especially primaries, these aren't, historically, they're not like a big, it's not a big voting day like you would think. Like, it's not as much, it's not as many of the electorate that votes on these as a normal presidential election, I should say. So, but it's very critical, and especially as we saw this last time, I mean, yeah, it's pretty important shit, and it's funny because it's a big determining factor, and like, I think it's I want to say 9% of the voters. I think the stat is something like 9. This last election, I'm talking about in 2016 for the Democratic. I think overall primaries, not just for the Democratic, but it was like 9% of voters, registered voters, were the determining factor in those candidates. So it's like. It's pretty amazing, It's not as on the surface we just think about that and go, oh yeah, well everybody voted on who's going to be the rep. It's like no. Small amounts of people do this, and that was probably a better one than maybe some years before. I don't know. I haven't done that math or not math, but research, but. Yeah, it's typically like that. That's basically, what happens for this time of the voting process, if you want to say. But, yeah, anyways, I did mine. I didn't, problem is with some of these, admittedly, and I think we all do if you vote, we got a lot of judges. There was a lot of judges up for vote. A lot of them, there was some different, usually, a lot of times in those cases, it's like you'll just see, and there were a few of them, but they're just, there's no judge opposing them, it's just them, so it's like, well, you could either vote for them or you could write in a guy or a gal, so, but, yeah, unfortunately, I wish I could say, I don't particularly know, these people, and I think most of us really, really don't. It's pretty pathetic, in a way. We should know them better, but they don't get the focus, obviously, in the mainstream. So you have to go a little, you just got to go out of your way a little bit. And these days, there's not much of an excuse. Just do a little bit of online research. But even then, you might not get, much out of that too. Doesn't mean you're gonna know that much more. But you just do the best you can. So I just kind of went with. I like going for the underdogs, if I can, in some. So I try to kind of see those ones, even though it doesn't mean that's every one of those selections. You got a lot of them that are already career government oriented. They're already a deputy of this or that. But there's a few here and there that were probably not going to have a chance. But I said, you know what, give them a shot, man. Why not? So that's kind of what I go with. And then there was a couple measures, nothing controversial, it didn't look like. Just, something about the one was oversight of something with jails or, I don't know. That one I should know more about, I think. Wow, this fucking thing. I'm going to turn this off. It's really annoying. Sorry. That's not anything it's just me looking at a stupid map. That's just going to confuse me when I know exactly the route I like to take. I just needed it to get me where I needed to go, basically, because I'm not... where I was coming from the voting booth, I'm usually not right there. Come on, buddy. All right. Lay back. It's a Lamborghini. It might be a Lambo. I think it's a Lambo. Yellow. Somebody from Texas got a Lambo out here in LA, coming out and hanging out. Oh shit, did I miss it? No, I'm good. Okay. That's my little Texas accent. I like that shit. That's a fun accent. I don't know if I'm doing it really well, but I'm trying to give you a little fun. So, so anyways, I just needed it to get from that voting area. It was middle school up the street. Another thing don't do. See, I do all it worked out, but that's because technology. I will say that. There's two places usually I can vote. I had a feeling one wouldn't be the one. The other one wasn't it either. They're right in my block, and it didn't work out. But thankfully, because I know where to go online, I looked up real quick. You go to LA Vote here in LA, lavote.net, and then gives you everything, all the locations. I think even Google's pretty good with that, probably, if you did now. I luckily gave myself enough time, like just enough time, and I know that typically around here in my area, it's not a place where there's like big lines. And I think because of the way they set it up this year, that probably helped it too, I would imagine it helped it, to create less traffic. So, but yeah, every election, it's pretty chill. It's like, I don't know. I think maybe people go out of their way to some of these places because they want to be at the busy one. I don't know. I get the feeling some people might do that, just to be like, oh, I went to the one in Hollywood, and I don't know. I don't know where the real crazy busy one is in LA. I think there's just a lot of places, so it kind of spreads it out nicely. But no, I'm sure there's a few of them out here at least in some pockets that get pretty busy. And I think one year my wife kind of said it was pretty busy, something like that. So it can happen, but most of the time I've done it, it's been pretty quick. The last presidential election, I remember, it was it was a little line, but it wasn't that much. So, yeah, and the other thing is, too, the reason I wanted to go in, even though I had like I said, I had to go in because I wanted to do the primary for the presidential. So I had to get the other ballot because they gave me the nonpartisan ballot. They didn't do anything wrong. That's just what I'm on. But that wasn't going to be, enough, essentially. So you got to know that. But some people do, some people don't. They're not going to really tell you. That's not their job, because it's like, I think they might help. No, I shouldn't say that. There's somebody who probably would help you there, but you're kind of taking a chance. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But yeah, you got to know that, at least for California I'm talking about. I can't say it. That's not for every state. Every state has their own situations and laws or whatever. Voting, their deal with their voting process. So, yeah, you got to be a little diligent, because otherwise you can be asked out. There's people that just don't last. They just go, oh, okay, well, I guess that's my ballot. And they think, they can't do anything else. And that doesn't mean that's always the case. So you got to do a little research, ask some people, pay a little attention, and, that's it. I mean, it's really that simple. If I could do it, I'm last second the way I did it and everything, hey man, any of you guys could hopefully do that too. But hey, depending on your states, there might be different issues. Maybe it's not as easy, but it's probably not much different, not by much. So yeah, that's what I did. One of my small civic duties, which are not many, but I do try to do my thing. Been pretty good, man. It's not something I was doing from age 18 all the way. I did start to, but I forget. Yeah, my first vote, I was I think about 20 at that point, because it was in 96, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure. Yeah. So at 18 it was, I could have done something at 18, I'm sure. I just didn't know about the primaries and any of that shit. I didn't pay attention to that, but I could have voted at 18 on something local, whatever. But yeah, I did at the presidential election in 96, and I voted for Ross Perot, if you could believe it. Yeah, man, I know now, he would get kind of compared somewhat to a Trump, but he wasn't, man. He would have been a much better, I think he definitely would have been a much better candidate. I'm not saying he'd been perfect, but yeah, I think he was definitely an outlier at the time, and I'm sure that would have been interesting. And, if that happened, that would have been something else. But he didn't make it. Yeah, he was, how far? No, he was the third party, because he went as the independent. That's what happened. Right. Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, look him up. Really interesting guy. Ross Perot, self-made billionaire, for real. He passed away just recently. But, yeah, that was, I casted my vote for him. Not nothing to be, yeah, it's nothing ashamed of. I think it's, I don't know, kind of neat to look back that I did that, because everybody, I'd say a lot of people my age, it was like Clinton, but I thought he was a bit, I don't know, just without knowing much at the time, I felt he was like a ham, like a ham sandwich, he, playing the saxophone, and, he just, he was good. He was good. I'll give him that. He was a good charmer and all that stuff, but I just didn't, I don't know, I just quite didn't like him because of some of that stuff. Just kind of lame, I know. It's like, of course, hey, 20-year-old, not informed that much, knew a little bit of stuff. I paid decent attention at the time. But yeah, Perot, I like that idea. I like the independent. I like that, he was paying for himself and all that stuff. I obviously had a idea for people like that early. That's kind of what I was, I've always wanted to see, and all that. So whatever. So that's my little voting background. But yeah, man, it's been crazy. So, but yeah, I did that, and then later on, I'd say as far as like voting and more like local and things like that, I'd say that's probably been in the last 15, give or take, around that. Yeah, I've started to be, pretty consistent. There's been probably a couple here and there for sure I definitely missed. I know there has. But yeah, I've actually participated, I've done it quite, pretty good amount, more than some folks here and there. It doesn't make me like, oh, I'm so better. I'm not going to definitely put it that way. If you don't vote for whatever reason, that's your business. I don't really have there's people who'll be like, they're really like, oh, they'll get really mad. And there's good arguments on that. I understand. But I think, hey, man, that's your business. If you just don't want to vote, that's also a vote as well. You're just not confident or feel anything about, nobody's persuaded you to do it. So there is something in that, and you have a right to do that. And, I don't think it's always throwing it away. Like, it depends on your state. If it's going to be, pretty much overwhelmingly in one way, and that, like, it kind of doesn't matter, in a way. And I'm talking like when it comes down to it in the electoral shit. Like, for instance, here in California, when it comes down to it, it's going to be Democrat. I mean, that's just how it pretty much works out. Yeah, it just does. But, it usually, it's pretty hardcore. Like, it'd be pretty crazy, like, if it did it. It's one of those things. But, you could, I could go vote when it comes down to it, and then I'm sure I will, but, I'm not going to, it's not going to come down to a slim margin type situation. It just isn't. So, I'm talking in those cases. Now, there are other places where it gets much more split. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida. I think those are the main ones. Probably a couple other ones here and there. But, that's what I'm saying. It's different depending on your state when it comes to that. But, I'd say most people that really vote, they're going to do it no matter what. And, I think it's great. But, again, to each their own. All respect either way. I don't have any problem with people's decision if they're going to do it or they don't. Sometimes people just sit out for an election. It's not that they don't. They just say for that one, they're like, fuck it, I'm not throwing it in, It's fine. Nobody should be forcing anybody to do whatever. That's why it is America. That's why it is free. Or, the idea of that, I should say. So, let me see here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. What else are we going to talk about? I should mention, it did happen just recently. Was it like a week or so ago? If I didn't mention already. A rapper by the name Pop Smoke was murdered here in LA. It was like a week. I feel like it was like a week or so ago now. It might be a little longer, but I don't know if I did get to mention it or not. But I just want to put out RIP to Pop Smoke. Definitely a young up and coming guy. He he had a pretty much everybody agreed. There's no dispute, even 50 himself, but he had a 50 Cent type quality to him, kind of bit of pretty much kind of like his sound and swag a little bit, if you want to call it. But I mean, he was himself, but he had that, and I don't know, he was really coming up strong. And yeah, it's a damn shame his life taken. 20 years old, man. Not even legal to drink, even though that wasn't, I'm sure that was no, nothing that held him back or whatever. I'm sure, at his parties and all that. Too young though, man. Way too young. So, just want to shout out RIP. It's Pop Smoke. And yeah, if you don't know him, look him up. Look it up. And, it helps, obviously, his family, any support through his music. And yeah, 50 is going to actually, I saw he announced he's going to executive produce and finish his album. So he stepped up and, he's making sure that's going to get done. And yeah, it's going to be dope, man. That's big. That's pretty cool, man. That's a hell of a gesture for sure. So there's with that going on. Other hip hop shit. Another big news was Meg Thee Stallion. She's suing her record company because they wouldn't put the green light to some shit. But I guess now they're like backing off. Like, oh, okay. I think that's what I read. I didn't get deep into it, but yeah, good for her, man. I don't know what record company. Probably Universal or Atlantic. There's only like a handful of them. Sony, I don't know. But yeah, she said fuck that. She flexed on it. So good for her. That's what's up. That's what artists should be doing and been doing by now. I think that it's now more than ever the time for artists to fully control their careers, or try to. It's, if you're in a big record company situation, it is what it is, and it's not it doesn't mean have to be negative or anything like that. And even in this, what it's going on doesn't mean they may still have a good relation with overall, but it's just there was some disagreement there on some things, and she had to do what she felt necessary, and it looks like it's working so far. And we'll see if it we'll see if who gets proven right, essentially, if the artist knows what she's doing or the record company. But yeah, it's a goofy situation because the artists these days can do stuff by themselves, but you still pretty much do need a big label to really, really saturate and get everywhere. It takes it kind of takes that at some point. You can do it independent, it happens, but it seemingly happens to be like, even if they do start off independent, they get signed, or they get, it's a venture that happens or something. So it's never, it doesn't, it's like there's still like a thing to get to with independence. But there's guys that are really holding off now. There's some cats coming up that are saying, no, I'm good, and they're still not signing. They're totally doing it, and they're happy with it. So I hope that's just basically what's going to have to keep happening. But you're going to have this struggle a little bit for some time. But I don't know. It's getting... I think that the labels are getting pretty useless at this point, in a way. And it's just not... It's not all the way there, but it's coming there at some point. But they're going to still exist. I'm not trying to say like, trust me, the ones that are smart or whatever, that are with the times, and you know, trying to stay relevant and current. You know, they want to adjust to it as well. They don't want to, you know, be left out and not be a part of the, you know, something that they've basically have built over these years and years of, you know, different artists and different executives and all that structure and stuff. So like any industry, it's going to fight. So you're not going to have it just like disappear. They're going to figure out a way to, you know, keep it going. And that can hopefully just work out that much better for artists, and it could. It very well could. So yeah, so that's some music news, so to speak, some, you know, music talk. What else am I going to talk about? Oh, speaking of music, listen to, just found it, or maybe I heard it, but I just didn't listen to it enough. An older Deftones track called Rosemary. It was 2014, but, you know, it's a little old now, especially in music terms. It's old. That's pretty, you know, that's like old, especially now. 6 years ago or whatever. But, man, what a song. What a song. I'm definitely going to have to check out more of that album. Kino Yokon or something, Kayona or something like that. It's like I think it's Japanese, maybe. I don't think they say it's like not even a real word or something. But yeah, there's like a meaning to it. But yeah, you could check it out if you're into some metal and, you know, well, they're metal, but like I'd say they're like, for somebody that maybe not a big metal person or not, you know, they would attract a lot of people. If you like heavy sounds, if you could deal with that heavy sound, definitely check them out, because they're also melodic too. They're one of the, I guess they're definitely one of the most melodic metal bands ever, really, in their own way. Yeah, I don't think you can really dispute that too much. They're pretty fucking badass, man, because they still have a strong ass rough sound, and they make it beautiful at the same time. It's a real blend that they've, you know, created over the years, if you want to say it. There's my little fucking number. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, it's actually, it's pretty good. I put a decent, that was good. That last bit of gas I got fucking lasted me finally. So now I kind of know how much probably to get, really. If I don't feel like going back and forth. Oh, man. So anyways, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm about to hit my gate. And we'll have a little bit more in store for you later on before we wrap it up. All right. All right, man. We're continuing here. Still evening time. Or jeez, man, it is evening now. Not that it matters. I don't have any video of this, so you guys wouldn't know the difference. But I'll keep it crazy real, or I try to keep it a little real. But yeah, just gonna be finishing up here the podcast. Of course, just gonna be a little running a tad late this week. You know, so. Depending on where you're at, you know, I don't know what day that's going to be for you guys, but thanks if you're still checking in. Sorry if to be off kilter. I didn't plan for it. Never do. I mean, sometimes I kind of know it's going to happen. I'll try to give you guys that heads up, but you know, if you listen, I've been really good. I've been really on point. Yeah, I had a technical issue the other day. That was definitely a big kind of a part of it. Technical issue being that I recorded it and it disappeared. Did not record for some reason. So, yeah, it was great. Really, really reliable shit. I don't know how you could fucking test for that, but that's what happened. So, the only other thing you can do is have two devices running as a backup. And that way, if one goes out, the other one hopefully recorded. Because if you have two still not recording, that's real bad luck. But it could happen. It could for sure happen. But yeah, anyways, here we are. So yeah, it's going to be a little late. Matter of fact, though, I think it's still going to be better off. And I didn't have anything, you know, I don't feel like I lost anything that big. You know, thank God, you know, it wasn't like, finally like some kind of killer interview or, podcast with somebody else. And then I lose that. That would be pretty, yeah, that would really fucking suck. I'd be really mad. But, you know, you gotta move on. You can't stay mad at stuff. That's not gonna get you anywhere. So, here we are. But, yeah, big Super Tuesday, as they call it. This is, excuse me, as I was mentioning a bit earlier. Big election day for a lot of states, for the primaries, Democratic primary, and local elections as well, at least here in California, for like judges, basically a lot of judges up for election or re-election. Wish I don't do, unfortunately, and I think I'm like a lot of people, unfortunately, maybe you don't want to admit it, but I have no fucking clue about these guys, the judges, you know, or yeah, I wish I, you know, I mean, that's my bad at the end of the day. I could look up some stuff, but what are you going to do? You know, because you know what? You get focused on the one thing. You're like, yeah, it's Democratic primary, you know, it's the primary. I'm interested in that. And, that's all you're focused on. You're just like, I just want to get in there and do that. And then you get in there and it's like judges, and you don't have to do it. You could actually just pass through them and just vote for, you know, but I like to fill in everything. Why not? But it's cool. I took pictures of everything, so I know what's up. I can go back and I can like, okay, what was this person? Did I, you know, oh, they didn't win, or oh, this one won, you know. I like kind of doing, yeah, I like doing that. A little recap. What happened, what, you know, just so I kind of, you know, like if somebody wants to talk about it, I could kind of talk like I know what the fuck I'm doing. No, you know, seriously, I could be a little more informed, but anyways, guys, hope everything went well for you. If you were out there in your state, if you were voting as well, hopefully it wasn't crazy for you lines. I didn't have any problems. Of course, I'm seeing some of those tweets of different parts of the city where it's, you know, there's some ridiculous line and all that. But, you know, this one in particular kind of can't feel bad for anybody. I'm not feeling that bad because it's like, well, California, they gave 10 days or something ahead. Gave a whole bunch of time ahead. And I think it was just at certain polling locations. It wasn't everywhere. But especially in this last day or whatever, there was locations that were 24 hours, I think, taking votes. You know, now you know, depending where you're at, you might have had to go out of your way a little bit, but at least it was available. So you know, but you know, if you're in, you know, the people that are in line, they'll wait, deal with it. It's not often you're going to do this. It's not something you do all the time, so hopefully it just goes all right, you know. But it's still kind of funny to me in a way, because I don't know. Maybe I'm just glad, I guess, where I'm at, and I'm not like in some ritzy ass area. I'm in a, you know, cool. It's fine. It's good, but got a lot of voting stations around, so it's really whoever our. See, and I should know, but our local council, the people involved there, taking care of all that, whoever does that, it's a fucking awesome job. Thank you. And, you know, we should acknowledge those, you know, we should keep acknowledging some things when they go right, not just bitching about, you know, when it's not right. So I like to do that, you know. On my way out, I try to thank everybody I could. I appreciate their volunteer, you know, they were there and friendly, and pretty cool stuff. So, and so that's it. That's what's going on. Looks like, from what I gather a little bit, man, don't mind me if I stop here soon. I'm just gonna be making my little stops here, but but it looks to me that so far, in some places at least, Joe Biden is pretty much taking the lead in a lot of spots, which is pretty amazing, I guess. But then I shouldn't be that surprised. But it's it's interesting. It's a hell of a primary. Again, a lot of great turnout. Apparently, Virginia, they're saying that their numbers doubled in turnout from 2016. So that's fantastic. So, again, no matter what, no matter who, you get your guy or person or girl, and, if it works out or doesn't work out for them, the fact that if the numbers altogether collectively are pretty big on turnout, that's just, even on its own, pretty awesome. That's a good sign. Or it's great. I think that's a great thing, in my opinion. But anyways, don't need to keep going on about it. But that's what's going on in my world. Otherwise, sports-wise, saw that the Penguins finally got a win after a 5 or 6 game slide. They finally got a win at home over the Senators, who are not a good team, so it was perfect setup for them. And it was a solid big win, 7-3. So that's a nice boost to morale, get them all fired up again and believing, like, hey, we could fucking do this. So, good for them. Hopefully they get back on it and can, keep going and, beat some of the quality teams coming up and make a run for it again in the playoffs. It's coming up soon, but they got to really, like I said, they got to be really, they're going to have to play good, man, especially the next, I would say definitely the next 15 games, they got to really win solid. Like, they better be on the upper side of that, that's going to be, it's going to be obviously probably pretty critical all the way down to the wire for them, depending on, on seeding and what spot and all that kind of shit. But then again, it makes it good. It's kind of like pre playoff hockey. You're kind of getting in playoff mode before you even get into it. So maybe that's not such a bad thing to get them on their toes instead of just instead of just fucking sleepwalking. So that's what's up. In the NBA, we got Philly in the house tonight, playing here in LA. Looks like I don't know about full strength Lakers. I'm not sure about that, but Lakers are probably going to take care of it. I haven't seen what the score is. I could look real quick, give you some live numbers while I'm fucking around here. Not fucking around, but you know what I mean. Let's see. Let's pull this up. Come on, Ben. Come on. The score. That's my app, guys. If you like using for sports app, I think a lot of people use the Score app. It's the best. Way less crap going on than ESPN's app. And it's pretty badass. There might be some other ones now, I don't know, but I think the Score does the damn job, man. Let's see, NBA. Here we go. Ooh, shit, Sixers. And the Sixers are up 44-33 with 8 minutes in the second. So that's pretty. That's a pretty big deal. So let's see how this turns out. But the Lakers can definitely get back into it. Not that they're way out, but yeah, they could start getting behind here if they're not careful. Let's see. Raptors up on the Suns, 87-84. Warriors over Nuggets right now, 85-81 with about 11 minutes left in the game. That's pretty big. That's a big deal in Denver. And what else we got? It's kind of interesting. Let's see. Give me a moment. I'm trying to be obviously not an idiot. Got to pay attention to the road first. And, just so you guys know. And you're like, oh man, be careful, man. It's like, no, don't worry. I will take my time. I'm not trying to get into any silly accident because I want to read a dumb score. And I'm in a small side street right now. I'm good. I'm just making my way here before I keep rattling off. Before I look at this thing, I kind of want to get at least parked here. It sucks. I'm in this used to be a no problem parking zone. Now they got permit parking, so after 6 you're screwed. But let me park in this lot here if I can, which I might get something here. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like I got a spot. Sweet. Oh, a couple spots. Good. That's nice for a change. Sometimes it just isn't that way. I usually can get a spot. Ooh, shit. Careful there. Alright. Just straighten it out. And I'll get back to telling you a little bit more here in a second. And then we're going to take a quick break. Jeez, oh man. Alright. Let's see here. Wow, that went away. Alright. We got the Timberwolves beat the Pelicans. What do we got tonight? Timberwolves beating the Pelicans 139-134. That's a big one. We got the Clippers over the Thunder 109-94. Clippers are not fucking around. Probably one of the hottest teams right now. Brooklyn Nets won 129-120 over the Celtics in Boston. OT. Good for them. Spurs edging the Hornets 104-103. Nice tight game. Good for the Hornets making a game out of it. And right now you got the Kings and Wizards. Kings are up 65-43 with about under 3 minutes in the second. So that's what we got going on. So with that being said, let me stop for a second and I'll be back again. Hang in there, guys. Alright, guys. Just jumping on, ready to finish this off. Just had a little hangout time. Just trying to get the hell out. Took me, just took 20 some minutes to close out, to get out of my spot here. Wow. But whatever, all good. The guy was busy, I get it. Big old fucking rush came in. Hilarious. But good times. So I watched didn't watch anything. There was no Laker game on. Don't know if we have a blackout because DirecTV or what. I don't know what the deal is. Probably so. I know it's probably Spectrum, I think they have a deal with. So I didn't see it. Didn't see the fucking game. Didn't see no sports really. There was like tennis on and fucking the Leafs were playing, maybe one of the hockey games or some shit I didn't care about basically, but not that I super care about the Lakers. I know they were going to win, but they won handily, I think. I don't even know what the final exactly was. I just saw it, but you could barely see the fucking score. Yeah, I saw like a blurb or something. So yeah, Sixers lost. Not too surprised. Yeah, Lakers are on fire. Clippers and Lakers seemingly look like they're gonna, meet up in the Western Conference, potentially, but we'll see. It's looking that way. Which really it should be. It really, when it comes down to it, that should be the fucking Western final. No matter what. But we'll see. We'll see what it comes down to. Otherwise, don't have much for you, as far as any other games. Not going to sit here and look it up. Since pretty much, I really got to try to get home. Running a little later than I wanted to. Which is no big deal. I mean, it wasn't going to be like I was going to be that much earlier, but still, it's not really the guy's fault, man. It's just still irritating. I mean, it is his fault, but it's like, he had to do what he's got to do. I get it, but goddamn, I'm sitting right fucking there, and even if I was going to get anything else, I'm just getting a fucking beer, man, or whatever. It's all goody. Shit happens, but it just makes it. I was having it was all right time and stuff, and then it's just like, oh fuck. So all good. I should have, whatever. Should have just closed that much or that. Yeah. Whatever. Should have just closed up a little earlier. Anyways. Yeah, had I got another one, man, I would have been there another hour, at least. And not really wanting to be, either. It would have been like, oh, fuck. So, whatever, that's what happens. That's how they run it there. But, yeah. Any fucking ways. So, it's good night. Heading into Wednesday. Like I said, you guys, I don't know what day it is when you're hearing this, but hope it's good for you. Hope the week is good and all that. So far, so good for me. We'll see. Not a bad day. No, definitely not a bad day. Just kind of, I guess, a little irritating finish there. But it happens. Mostly it's never that difficult. But that was a little tough. No doubt. Yeah, it's nothing like waiting when you literally could leave, but your card is there. I'm like, hell, it's like being held hostage in a certain way. I can't leave my card there. At least, no, I can't. If I just said fuck it and said, you know what, I'll just fucking take care of it later and I'll get my card later, then I'm screwed all day tomorrow. Or I would have had to come out at lunch or some shit to go get the fucking thing, And I'm not doing that, so oh well, just bitching a little bit. But it's all good. Oh, what else? A little traffic on the way here. Got construction all the fucking time. On the road, they're putting in these sound walls on the 170. It seems like they've been doing this. I think I mentioned it before. It's like they've been doing this for years, man. I remember they've done parts of this. And then it was like nothing, and then all of a sudden again they're doing it, and it's like, God, I thought we went through this already. Nope, not finished. It's like, no, we got to do all this, and they're still going. As much as they've done already, it's still like, nah, I'm not done. This isn't even a long stretch of freeway. I mean, it's a decent amount. I'd have to look at the miles. I don't know. I'm gonna guess it's like. I don't know. It's like 7 miles of freeway, 6 miles. And it's got to be about 90% done at least. Because not all of this is residential. So I know there's like parts of this where they got to do it and other parts they're going to leave. I don't know. That's what I'm guessing. It kind of looks that way. But again, it's like I know that, you just trip out. It's like, God, wasn't some of this already done already? It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, so every night, so it's kind of a nice little wrench when you're like, oh, I'll just go and then, freeway will be better. And it's fine. It's fucking moving. I'm just, I'm doing my little rant. Nice. Let's do that. Let's drop this fucking thing. Sorry. Just making sure this was recording. But, yeah, you're just like, oh, yeah, I'll take my time, blah, blah, blah. The freeways will be, and then you got to get on and deal with that. It's actually moving good tonight, but sometimes it's a little funky. It's been better. I have to say it's been better. I've been able to get on my entrance that I like to get on. That was kind of fucked for a while if you've listened to the podcast. I was having to, go to a detour. It was a little shit show. I figured it out after, a couple times. I kind of oh, okay, I see what we can do here. But, yeah, it's just, that's what you don't want at the end of the night. But, whatever. People are dealing with much worse than what I'm talking about. But, it's all good. Get home and I can get this thing up for you guys. And you can enjoy while you're commuting, doing the same thing I'm doing, or you're at the fucking gym, sweating it out, going, why am I even fucking doing this? Speaking of, yeah, I gotta get into it myself. I gotta get back on my, some workouts, man. Just haven't done it. I hate gyms. And now with this fucking corona, it's like, really? Is that even a good idea? To go into a fucking, bacteria-infested fucking place. Speaking of, my wife, I gotta ask her about her so-called membership she doesn't fucking use. See that thing? Hey, I see that charge, and I'm just like, really? When do you go? Oh, man. Just bitching, guys. We all been through it. Yeah, that's why I don't like the memberships, man. Fuck them. That's how they get you. Get you going, and then you fucking don't do it, but you don't turn off the fucking thing, and then if you do, it's a whole thing to turn it on. It's fucking nonsense, man. It's all fucking bullshit. So is life, right? Sometimes it's fucking bullshit. But we live another day. We're good, right? It's all good. Almost there. Almost fucking there. Thank God. So, yeah, there's not much, like I said, I don't have a whole lot else to talk about. So I don't want to fucking keep repeating myself. I'm trying to think. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm done. I'm really done, I think. So, yeah, let me wrap this up. Don't need to keep going on. You guys get it. But it's all good. Keep going. Thanks again for all the listeners. For all you guys' support. New or, or long time. Either way. And check back in. Keep up. Keep listening. I appreciate it. All right. Take care. Bye.